works. Okay, test 1, 2. Let's see if we can get some people to answer provoking questions for YouTube. All right, so there's a few categories that I have a few questions to ask. You can choose which one you want. So there's moral and ethics,
Yeah.
there's religion, there's ideology and biology.
Okay.
Which category would you like?
Let's try religion.
Religion? All
And
right.
yeah,
Do you believe in a god?
yes.
Yes. Which one?
Uh, just like I'm a Sikh, like I follow Sikhism. So
Okay,
like
that's
there's
like Indian.
yeah, it's Indian, yeah. So there's like not really a name for one. It's just kind of like a general force around.
Is it just
So
like pantheism, where you believe that the universe is conscious, or you believe that there's like a specific god that's actually like interact voluntarily?
honestly, it's a little bit of both. Like I would say like universe, like kind of like what you put out is what you get back. And that's like kind of like what our God is.
Like
That's
karma,
yeah, like karma basically,
right?
right?
And
Yeah.
you believe it's more like if you put like bad energy, like you're gonna receive bad energy because you attract that, or you believe it's in a force of nature that actually acts?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's like a little bit of both.
Bit of both.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
understanding of it.
All
So
right.
yeah,
That's great. Actually, like I don't have any problem with anyone's belief. I just like to know like what is the rational reason for their beliefs.
yeah.
So like, what makes you think that there's like a natural force that actually like voluntarily act upon like a desire?
Like what do you mean by that? Just like
Like if I was to say like the universe just like happens to be and everything is random,
yeah.
or there's actually a force who actually with conscious thoughts
Yeah.
act upon the world.
Oh yeah. 100%. Like let's
Like
say like you're a good person and like you're spreading good things and like that's like another aspect of Sikhism. It's like doing good things for
yeah,
others, right? So like if you're just a good person in general, like karma will act on that and you'll be like the good things will come to you, right?
great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I don't believe in any religion, but
Oh yeah.
if there's any like belief system that like I like most would be like Hinduism and all of this, because
Oh yeah.
like they always teach about compassion and
Yeah.
empathy, and like myself, I'm a vegan,
Yeah.
so like I don't like pay for any product that abuse animals or
Yeah.
like exploit them or anything like that. So I really like your point of view on there. And
Yeah.
then is there anything you would like to add? No, no. Is there any other subject you'd like to talk about, or
List them out, man. Let's
just
see.
them out? All right, so um, for me. As a vegan, there's one question I like to ask people,
Yeah.
and then it's do you think that not being vegan is being abusive to animals?
Man, honestly, my point of view on all kind of like things like that is like, just they like in nature, animals will attack each other too, and like they do
Yeah.
some pretty brutal things to each other.
And do you think we
Like,
should base our morals according to what animals do in nature?
well,
Because
I
they
mean,
also rape and murder each other.
yeah, that's true. I'm just saying about like, you can't really argue that eating meat is bad if like they eat each other. I'm not saying raping any of that's good at all. Like in no
Yeah.
way, right?
I mean, to me,
Uh,
meat is not the problem. Like,
yeah,
if you find a dead body on the ground that's already dead and you eat it, like, this is more of a health issue than like a moral issue.
yeah,
But if you actually pay someone to decapitate the head of a pig when you could eat a carrot,
yeah,
I mean, that's when the moral issue becomes, is when you actually support like the exploitation and murder more
yeah,
than just the fact of eating the meat itself.
yeah. That's true.
Do you have anything you want to add to that?
Honestly, man, I think you said it all.
Yeah, well,
So yeah,
that's very good to hear that people like agree with that mentality, even though they still continue to contribute to the system. Like, even though just acknowledging that there's something wrong with the system.
yeah.
You know, do you want to change another subject, or?
Honestly, man, we're running short on time
No
here.
problem. Well,
So
thanks for stopping by,
yeah, of
and
course, dude.
appreciate all of your thoughts and informations.
Yeah.
I'll go for a quick round on ideology.
Ideology,
Yeah.
great. What is a woman?
Well, a woman is somebody is a person
Yes.
and is somebody that has all equal rights to
Yes.
anybody
Yes.
and has every liberty to do anything and
Okay.
to do like they shouldn't have any limits or any sort of um, like limitations on what they can't do or what they can do.
And could I say the same, all the same thing you just said about a man?
Well, it's a little different. I mean, I think like on my point of view, I think in the past, women have experienced a lot of adversity and a
Yes,
lot of diversity with women's rights, and I think in the past, like really in the old times, I think a lot of men have been exploited as like the alpha male
yes, that's
and
right.
the and I think now the world should revolve more on giving more equal rights to women
Yes,
who in the past haven't been able to
yes.
experience all that.
And I agree that equality is a big thing. But do you think that in 2023, women's have less right than men?
Nope, I don't think so.
Right.
I think
And
I think times have changed and for the better,
yes,
and I think that people I think right now is the best time to live
yeah, that
for anything
for
other
any,
than women's rights. If we're talking about racism,
yeah,
LGBTQ, I think all that stuff that people have struggled with in the past, I think their message should be heard,
yeah,
and I think we're taking a big step in the right direction as a
hmm,
society.
yeah,
And for young kids that are growing up, I think it's important that they learn about this and that they learn that everyone is equal. They're just a person, no
that's
matter
right.
what their background is and whatever their beliefs are and whatever it is. And
Yes,
my values are is I treat a person based on what kind of person they are.
yes.
I don't care about what other what their background is or what their
And
beliefs are
if you
or
mind me
anything.
asking, are you cis male yourself? Like, would identify yourself as a like heterosexual male or
No,
no?
I'm just straight. So
Straight? Yeah, so
yes,
that's heterosexual. That's
yeah,
mean you straight. Yes, and
heterosexual.
then do you say that trans women are women?
That's a hard question. I'd say that it's whatever they want to identify as,
Yeah,
and if they
and would
I
you date a trans woman?
would I date I personally I would say no.
No,
Um,
but trans women are women, right?
it's a very
It's a complex,
it's a complex
yeah,
question,
and that's
and
why I say provoking thoughts on the sign because it is a very complex issue. Like especially nowadays, is like this big movement to not only try to push like how everyone should be free to be themselves,
yeah,
but they're also trying to say that trans woman is not only just like a woman, but biologically like sex and gender are now the same thing apparently to them. My opinion is that gender does not exist at all. There's sex and there's personalities. Now,
yes,
a boy can be feminine and
of course,
a woman can be masculine. And like back in the days, we had a word like tomboy for that. There's nothing wrong with being a tomboy. That doesn't take your women like your femininity from you. Like you can still be a woman and still be masculine. That's my take on it. I think that gender just doesn't exist at all, and that we just made it up just to try to find something to identify ourselves with instead of just living freely on the day to day. Do you have
of
anything you'd
course.
like to add to that?
No, I think you said it all, and I think I think people should have the right to live however they want, and yeah, sure, like like gender, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
doesn't really exist, and I think that people um, can have can have every right to do whatever they like,
Hmm.
and for me personally, I'm not gonna judge somebody, and I
Yeah.
think that if somebody wants to be who they are,
Yeah.
good for you.
I feel like it's the whole aspect of toxic masculinity that and like that way like how femininity should look like that like people like, oh, I don't identify as this so therefore I'm not this. But I think a woman can be a woman in so many ways, and there's no,
Of course,
like there's no way to say like biology is like a fact. Like if I was to ask people like, can someone change gender, and people say yes, and I ask the same thing, can a person change race, would that be any different?
well, I think that they can change their beliefs. They can change like
Yeah.
whatever which religion they believe
But
in.
can you change your biology?
Your biology, um, I'd say I'm not really sure
Yeah.
on
Well,
that.
that's a very great answer.
Yeah.
Like not knowing, like is the best thing you can do is just admit you don't know instead of just making claims. Like a lot of people nowadays, instead of say, "Oh, I don't know," they just like push on and push on. But yeah, I really like your attitude today and like very open-minded, and you had a lot of great answer. And then, do you have any questions for me?
No, not at
No,
all. I thank you a lot for having me on this show.
no problem. Thank you for stopping.
No worries.
Very courageous of you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Here. So for the provoking questions that I have, I got multiple categories. So I have ethics and morals. I got religion, and I have ideology and biology.
Okay. Wow, those are some serious topics.
So you can choose which topics you would like.
They all kind of overlap a lot.
Kind of, yes,
Yeah.
depending on which subject, but they can
Yeah.
overlap definitely. No problem. Yeah. So any subject you'd prefer to talk about, or
Okay. What was the last one again?
so was ideology
Ideology and
and biology.
biology. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's go with that one.
With that one, all
Yeah.
right. So there's no topics that you refuse to talk about at all. No. Okay. So if I were to ask you what is a woman,
Yeah.
what would would be your answer?
What is a woman?
Yes.
The opposite of a man. The only other human species besides a male. The person of the male or
So according to what I'm hearing you say, it's the
yeah.
same answer I would say. It's biological female adult human.
Yeah.
And then like a lot of people nowadays saying that anyone can be a woman. It's just how you identify, but the way I see it is gender does not exist.
Mhm.
There's only sex and personalities, and
Uh,
then a woman can be whatever she wants. She
Yeah.
can be a tomboy, masculine, she can dress like a man, cut her hair, whatever she wants. She's still a woman,
Yeah.
and that's how I see it.
Uh-huh.
So would you agree that it is wrong to allow children to take hormone puberty blockers and hormone changing hormones?
No, because I think some people have a problem where they don't, their brain doesn't identify with their gender. So if they want to be, who they want to be, I don't see what the problem is with that.
Well, as I was saying, I don't believe that gender exists at all. Like you can be a biological woman and still present yourself how you want. It doesn't make you less of a woman.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you think that biology can? Do you think that sex and gender are two different things?
Well, I think hormones affect your gender, right? So
Well, actually, it affects your it affects all of your biology in a sense that if you take puberty blocker,
yeah.
a lot of kids ended up male end up with micro penis and they
Yeah.
cannot ever have an orgasm for life,
Oh, okay.
and they cannot have children.
Yeah.
They're like their whole body won't develop because
Mhm.
these puberty blocker they don't just like stop and then you can start again. They literally
Okay.
just destroy. So you cannot go through puberty after you go on those,
Yeah.
and then majority of kids who do identify as the other gender, once they go through puberty,
Yeah.
their the anxiety actually goes away because it's the process of going through puberty that makes them anxious and
Yeah.
nervous about going through it.
Yeah.
And then now more and more people trying to push the narrative that you
Yeah.
can just be whatever you want,
Yeah.
not only on with your personality,
Yeah.
but with your sex. Because now people are saying that sex and gender are the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how that could be a problem. Like, if you're not fully developed as a human being and you're making these choices about your life, there could be some issues there. You're not maybe mature enough to make these kind of, decisions yet, or
Yeah, I agree.
have the full effects of the hormones
Yes.
that you've developed.
Yes, that's
right?
why the legal age for consent of sex
Yeah.
is 18 years old or
Yeah.
16, in depending where.
Yeah.
And then the legal age to even rent a car is 25 years old because the frontal cortex is
Yeah.
actually not developed, which is
Yeah.
the part where it gives like
Yeah.
you can give consent, and like if you can't rent a car till you're 25 years old, why would you be able to make life changing decision about your whole body?
Yeah.
You have anything you'd like to say about that?
Oh, sorry, I was just looking at that girl.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
What was the last part you said?
So, sorry, I also lost the track there. Yeah, I was saying that if you can't rent a car till you're
Yeah,
25 years old, why
yeah,
would you be allowed to make
yeah. That's the
life-changing
same kind
decision
of thing
about your own body?
like I was just talking about, right?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. So I guess it just depends on
seems like you mostly agree with me.
yeah. Um, and then in terms of like the side effects, I mean, they should be telling potential patients all about these
Yeah.
potential side effects,
So the
right?
problem is that nowadays all the kids are the first generation to go through all of these
Yeah,
drugs, so there's no like data to show all of this. Well, there's new data coming out that says there is very bad effect,
yeah,
life long-term effect,
yeah,
and then it shows that like like the big debate is like how like transgender people are like suicidal, and if they don't
yeah.
go through the change, they're more likely to kill themselves.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
the
I think
data
yeah,
shows
it
that
goes both
it,
ways, right?
it get worse
Yeah.
after a few years of
Well,
transition.
I'm sure it's not all getting worse, but
No, not all of it,
yeah.
but the majority.
Oh, really? The
There's like
majority, eh?
there's a big group. I think it's on YouTube or like Facebook or something. It's all about people who
Yeah.
transition, and they say it's about like 40% of them
Okay.
do, and that's only
So
those
that's
who
not
are
the
courage.
majority.
That's only the courage. The people are courageous enough to come out of it
Oh,
because
yeah.
they are being ashamed by their own group
Yeah, that's
for
true.
coming
I
out
could
as
see
a
how
detransitioner.
some people wouldn't, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Okay.
would
Well,
you like to talk about another topic, or you're happy with that? Or
sure. Let's talk about another one then.
all right. So we got religion, ethics,
Religion.
religion.
Yeah.
All right. Do you believe in God?
No.
No. All right. Well, I don't either.
Okay.
My point of view is there's no evidence for any God.
Yeah.
There has never been any evidence.
Yeah.
So why believe in something that doesn't, have any argument for?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that I love your answer. No, straightforward.
That's it.
And then is that your same reason for not believing in God, or?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah,
So
exactly. That's the
yeah,
way I see it.
it's not logical.
Yeah, and
It's
you
just
wanna
another system that's set up to exploit you.
exactly,
That's all.
exactly. So
People don't want to believe it, but that's what it is. Because all human beings are predators, and that's how they exploit people with ideas.
yes,
Uh,
that's true. That's true.